Panel, as succinctly as you can, please tell us your thoughts about 2024. Let's start with Rena.
Ooh, as succinctly as I can, 2024 has been a roller coaster ride. It's you're up and you're having fun, and then all of a sudden you're down and you're wondering why did you get on it in the first place? And then next thing you know, it's over. So that's what I think about 2024.
That's a great way to put it. How about you, Aaron? How was your 2024?
Yeah, Benjamin, that's a tough question, because I feel like 2024 ended by like catapulting us into chaos, which I am having a hard time reflecting on the rest of it, given kind of the latest developments with the election and everything else. Um, I'm trying to remember the good things that happened in 2024, including time spent with Team Rayceen Productions, some of the amazing artists and creators that I was able to engage with as a part of Team Rayceen Productions, whether it was through Art All Night or District of Pride, or any number of other events. Um, but really, the election eclipsed a lot for me, and it's where my head is at the moment and what I'm thinking about in terms of the last year.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way, y'all. It has been a roller coaster year for sure, Rena. I agree with you on that. But there has been so many positives, and I'm the person that always wants to remind folks of the joy. And so find that for you. And um, one quote or one thing that has been pushing me through this year is that the sun shines everywhere. It's just up to us to turn to it and bloom. And so that's what I've been focusing on for 2024, trying to find those moments to bloom, not let the negative or the darkness overtake me too much, and also reminding myself that there is so much radicalness and resistance in our joy and reminding us of what gives us joy.
Tell us your thoughts, Bernita.
Yeah, 2024, right? What a crazy year. I don't think any of us thought it could get worse than 2020 or crazier than 2020, yet here we are. I think it's been a really consciousness raising year with folks really getting activated and having important conversations around the election, around the genocide and ongoing violence in other parts of the world. I really think this has been a year where the conversations that have needed to be had are being had finally. I will say that personally, it's been a really peaceful year for me, ironically, and reflective. I spent a lot of time editing, revising my upcoming novel, soon come, hopefully in the next year. And also been doing a lot of very important work in the consumer protection space. We've seen some excellent movement in terms of protecting people from medical debt, for example, one of my specialty areas, as well as energy affordability. So all in all, a chaotic year, but I think one that leaves me feeling pretty hopeful for what's coming.
Lauren, tell us your thoughts.
Well, 2024 was a great year for me, in large part because I got connected with Team Racine. I was really surprised and to receive an invitation to be part of the Smithsonian Speakeasy event that was put on at the National African American Museum of History and Culture and featured. I mean, I was invited to be on a panel with Racine. And DJ JJ of the Clubhouse, and really an event that is almost like the stars aligned for me in 2024 because I am teaching a class at George Washington University that focuses on part of the class focuses on the life of the fabulous Sylvester James and his legacy. And a lot of the event that Team Racine Productions was planning was centered around disco and its role in queer nightlife and liberation. And to have that event, actually, the evening of that event was the last class meeting where we discussed and kind of wrapped up our unit on Sylvester. So students from my class were able to come to this event and hear stories from both DJ JJ and Racine herself about about meeting Sylvester and about what his presence and life and influence was on them. And then they got to experience parts of disco culture through both Roz White's amazing performance as well as Rita Burns' dance lesson, and then a dance party with DJ Suspense after that. So I think 2024, I got to be the professor of the year for these students because I don't think they had a class experience that brought the material that they were studying to life in a better way, right? That it was really an amazing experience for me to be a part of that, being able to share and also learn a lot through folks that I got to meet and hear from, and then to see my students engage and sort of light up. I know it was a highlight for them. So I'm very grateful for what 2024 brought, and definitely showed how important the work that Team Rayceen Productions is doing is within the community, and I think can really make an impact on our students that we're teaching as well.
Thank you. Curlius, tell us your thoughts.
2024 was a year. It happened and it's almost done, and then we're going on to another year. I mean, 2024 had so many highs and some lows as well. It was definitely a rocky year, a year of many different surprises. But I think I will look back on the year by highlighting the highlights in my brain, in my mind, and that will be what will bring me forward. Because there were some lowlights, but I realized that by the end of the year, I don't really remember the lowlights that much. I have to go into my memory bank to be like, oh yeah, this kind of sucked. You know what I mean? I mean, there are some big suckers. There are some huge ones that you can't get past, especially close to the end of the year. But there's also been some wonderful things. I will say one thing that was very special to me was that I got to perform on the Hippodrome stage in Baltimore this year, and that was my first time doing that in such like an iconic and historic place there. So that's a cute little highlight for me from 2024. Tell us your thoughts, Carol.
Certainly. I did a number of interviews and events with Team Rayceen Productions in 2024. One of the highlights for me were the interviews that we did with DC candidates. I learned so much about the important issues that they were facing and interested in and putting forward. And I think it was great for the viewers as well to get that information so they could make informed voting choices, which is so, so important.
Very important, especially for 24. All right, next up we have Rita.
Well, 2024 gave me an opportunity to be on the inside of Team Rayceen, and I had two opportunities this year to work directly with Team Rayceen, and that was for the Capital Fringe Festival. There was a panel, and I had the opportunity to be on the panel and promote for Sahat Walker, who is a playwright. And we performed in the Fringe Festival for a play called Church. And it was about a woman's journey through house music, a woman's spiritual journey through house music. Then secondly, I was again on the inside of Team Rayceen for the Speakeasy, and that was recently in September, October. Everything's blending together at this moment. But it was in the fall of 2024, the Speakeasy that was held at the African American History and Culture Museum. And I had the opportunity to teach a little bit of disco. It was great fun.
Yes, certainly. And we all had our dancing shoes on. I love it. Next up, we have Rayceen.
Well, what can I say? First of all, it is a moment to reflect on the loss of so many loved ones, so many amazing activists throughout this year that we have lost, who were on the front line in the beginning of so many different movements, allies that we have lost throughout this year. I take a moment to reflect, and as they become our ancestors and guide us into what is to become of so many things. They will guide us and move us forth, and they will continue to be the spirit that we use our bodies to come through. And we will use their spirits to come through and move forth into 2025 and what that looks like. The spirit of resilient ancestors and resilient people. So that's where I am in the moment of reflection. But I'm also, even with loss, I'm very happy throughout this year of all the awards that I've received, because it lets me know that all of the work that I've gone through was not in vain. That sometimes we do the work and we do the work just because it needs to be done. And it's not about money or how much we make, or because if it was, I would be a millionaire. But but it is about the richness that it brings to my spirit. I think about the best of Washington, the honor we receive, because as I receive an honor, it is also a thank you to Team Rayceen Productions and the work that we do this all together. It is not just me, it is the body of us all, the work that we do, how we all come together. So I am honored at every award, but there's one that stands out in my mind because when I received this award, I was asked to bring LGBT elders with me, to bring elders in the room who are all over 65 years old, and to come and see what their work has done, how we are being honored by our peers and by the next generation. So receiving the I Am Awards and the MGM Grand was everything. And it just made me, and having my oldest daughter with me made me feel so good to have her there. That was a joy to see the smile on her face and have her whisper in my ear and say, you know, all that you do is a labor of love. So just take it in. And as I took it in, I broke down in tears because I was receiving the award by two amazing lights in our community, Shaquita Lee and Tony Nelson, two people I've known when my hair was black and when I was a size 9. Now that I am full figured diva, I'm so grateful and so wonderful to just say thank you to those two amazing lights and that joy that it gave me to have it come from them. So those are some of the wonderful moments in this year that just makes me happy.
Awesome. Cheers to the love, loss, and laughter of 2024. We thank all the people who were involved with our 2024 events, including the people who planned, organized, volunteered, staffed, sponsored, performed, and attended. Those events included Silver Pride 2024 with Whitman Walker, District of Pride 2024 with the DC Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs, DC General Election Meet and Greet with the Washington Blade, Team Rayceen Productions Sights and Sounds 2024 for Art All Night Shaw with Shaw Main Streets, a speakeasy evening at the National Museum of African American History and Culture 2024 with the Smithsonian,